Hello, today we're seeing constructors for integers and floats. Let's start with int. Okay, here are the constructors. The empty constructor returns 0. There we go, 0. We can also add an integer to copy it. It's this one, copies the given int. Running it returns 4. It's the same as having just 4. Let's use a new variable. And copy number. So number 2 instead. And let's change the value of number. Number 2 was not affected by the change. This is the same as using just number. Still 4. Now let's try float. By the way, we can use binary numbers too. Running it returns 4. Same with hexadecimal. A returns 10. Now for the float. Truncate, it removes the decimal part. .9, that will only keep the 4. There it is. This is the same as just using the float, except we don't get a warning this time. Now booleans. True returns 1, false returns 0. We get 0 and 1. Again, we don't need the constructors. Still 1. Still 0. Finally, the string constructor. Same rules as string to int. It converts the string to an integer. This method removes any non-number characters and stops at the first decimal point. Here you can see a few examples. Let's try it. Test. This contains no numbers, so it gives us 0. Indeed, it turned into 0. Unlike the other constructors, we cannot skip this one. Cannot assign a value of type string to int. So this time we need to keep it. Let's add a few numbers. And it kept only 3 and 5. Let's add a decimal point. Now we ignore anything after it. And it became 3. This is like turning a float to an integer. Let's make it more obvious. There. Now you can see that it's similar to assigning a float value. In the previous video we saw E. It means multiply by 10 raised to some power. In this case, it's 4 times 10 raised to the second power. Or 4 times 100, so we get 400. So we want this number to be 300. However, we get 32. That's because the constructor ignores all letters. We have the same problem if we try binary numbers. That should give us 4, but we get 100 instead. Same goes for hexadecimals. Still the same. However, the string class has two methods for this. Being2int converts the string representing a binary number into an int. It may be prefixed with 0b and a minus for negative numbers. We also have the hex2int method for hexadecimals. And now we get 16 squared, which is 256. Let's see for binary. Now we get 4. Scientific notation with the letter E can be handled by the float constructors. We'll see that in a moment. First, we'll see the empty constructor. As you'd expect, it also gives 0. A float number gives us the number itself. We can also pass a float variable. The int will change into a float. That will become 4.0. Next up is Boolean. Let's use false first. 0.0. And true. 1.0. Now for the string. Converts a string to a float following the same rules as string to float. Converts the string representing a decimal number into a float. This method stops on the first non-number character except for the first decimal point and the exponent letter. Let's write test. We get 0. There was no number. Just like before, this needs the constructor. By the way, numbers and booleans don't need the constructor. Now let's add some numbers. 2. We stopped at the letter T. Any numbers after an invalid character has been found will be ignored. Now E is the exponent letter. 200,000. Because this is 2 times 10 to the 5th. 5 zeros. This is basically equivalent to this. Let's add the decimal part. Let's try a real exponent. It ignored the 0.1. And if we had 2 decimal points, it stops at a second. Let's use e without a number. It's like multiplying by 10 to the first. That's it for the constructors. In the next video we'll see comparison operators. Till next time.